Hello, dear listeners and viewers. This is the first installation of my new podcast, Brain Cell. I am going to discuss all kinds of topics on this podcast, whatever I feel or you feel should be a topic and has relevancy currently or throughout time. So that would be even better if it's topics that are more general and will have relevancy whenever you listen to it. And so you can kind of, Google for answers or YouTube search in this case, for answers on questions you might have on whatever topics there are, whatever answers you might want to find. As I am, and I studied philosophy in university, and I would say honestly that I'm pretty good at it. And what is philosophy is what I want to get into first, because people don't really get what the concept and the goal of philosophy is, and why people philosophize. I don't know the American word actually for that. Debate, discuss. The goal is finding answers to things that are relevant for dealing with problems in life, with any kind of issues that everyone has to face, with things that are that don't have obvious, definite answers. And that is especially what philosophy is: narrowing down to an answer to things where there is no definite one answer. There is no one size fits all. In Germany, and I don't know how it is in America when you study it, almost everything is called a science. And so in German, it would be the science of philosophy. And science is a word that is often misinterpreted, or it's not really obvious for everyone what's meant by science. And that is also one thing when you start discussing topics or debating, the basic terms that are important for the topic of the discussion should always be defined in the beginning of the discussion for everyone to actually talk about the same thing. Because oftentimes this is where miscommunication happens. It is when people discuss over a few things and they actually don't even agree on the terms they're using, that they're actually agreeing that what they're talking about is XYZ. They use the same term, but for person A, when they talk about football, they might be talking about European football, and the other person is talking about American football. There's different sets of rules, and that's just an example where it's pretty obvious that it's not the same, but it's the same term. But there's so many terms where everyone has a different understanding, or many people will have a different understanding. So what they should actually do in the first place is clear up what they're actually talking about. So define the terms that will be essential for the discussion and the base of the discussion. So that being said, that would be the first thing to do whenever you have philosophical discussions. And then, of course, what philosophy is finding answers. And as I said, oftentimes and most of the times, every time, we're trying to narrow down to an answer, but there will be no definite one-size-fits-all answer for the issue. But we're trying to take in all kinds of aspects that there are to the issue, and then we factor them in, and we will also weigh them out against each other. Oftentimes it's moral things, ethical discussions, and there's a lot of philosophies of people that we also might want to look into. So on a lot of things, there are different viewpoints of different people. So we want to look at the issue from every possible angle. And then it's also a subjective thing to weigh out where you are, where you position yourself on the topic. That's why there are many people that lean towards one philosopher and others totally disagree. And that is personal and subjective. So philosophy is not a science like physics, where there is some variables that are just a law of nature, and there's just gravity, and that's just how it works. Philosophy is not how it works, but philosophy is all about logic. So if you can't think logically, you can't be a good philosopher, because there is no arguing without any sense, without any logic. That is the base of all arguments. If you can't explain it in a logic way, how you came up with what you stand for, what your position is, or how you came to a conclusion, then it is not philosophy. It is your feeling. But there might be feelings in philosophy, because that will determine how much you put weight on some things, but you will always have like a pro and cons list in your head at least, and then you would have to name everything that you're thinking about, and so that everyone who can read or listen to your position has to logically be able to follow your argumentation. That's just the way it is. So it is all about logic and narrowing it down to an answer, where that might be, in 99% of the time, no universal answer for. So that was just on what philosophy is, at least for me. I'm not the wisest guy on the planet, so if you think otherwise, I'm really happy to discuss, and I'm only taking logic and sense-making arguments from you. I'm not gonna want to read about feelings. No, you can always comment whatever you like. I like debates and discussions, and I think that's something that brings every single one of us further in life. Also, just by a better comprehension of other people's thinking and also their reasoning behind it. And that's what makes it interesting. You really will have to be clear and a good communicator if you actually want to discuss things in a philosophical way. And so it can help you understand yourself better by actually thinking things through and portraying your position even to yourself. So you might find out things about you that you never realized because you start putting it out or writing it down and actually manifesting your beliefs and your positions, your views, and it can only help you and get you further in life. And we can do this together. And I'm excited. I want to hear your thoughts on future topics that, I should discuss. We should discuss. Maybe I should get some people on. You can always recommend people that I should bring on. And this is the first one. It was non-scripted whatsoever. I just started talking. I hope you will enjoy this and get something out of it. I'm glad I started this, and I'm looking forward to a bright future. By the way, as always, I hope and I ask you to please like this, subscribe to the channel, maybe show it to some friends, and always participate, engage, comment, share the thing. That will help me out a lot in the algorithm and for people to see this. So, best wishes. Till next time. Ba-dum, ba-dum.